And so the question, is it better? If you're buying a drone for the camera, yes, 100%.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's a real gem, isn't she? She's actually one of my biggest fans, but she did get a kick. That was actual footage of the hat cam that I used with my GoPro. That's why that one looks a little bit different than the other clips, but it gave me an idea to create an entire 1-minute scene as an attention getter based off of her one single reaction. So we added a little bit to it, but we had a fun time making it, and I hope you enjoyed that as well. So I've had the Autel Evo Lite Plus for just about a week now, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Even without the highly anticipated firmware update, it performs extremely well. And what's most exciting is it's only going to get better. There's only been a couple of things that have concerned me, and I've used other drones to see if it's just this drone. Well, the drifting. After a sharp turn, it results in a backward drift of about 5 to 6 feet. I found this to also be the case with the Evo 2 Pro, but not the Air 2S. So this only means that it's a flight characteristic of Autel, and I'm just going to have to get used to it. Now I'm going to have to be a little bit more mindful of the drift as not to back into certain small areas. It only happens in ludicrous mode, by the way. Don't become so overconfident, especially when you're in ludicrous mode, because it is literally ludicrous. I came so close to destroying this drone, and it's probably the closest I've ever come to wrecking the drone, and about as close as you could get to the ground without actually hitting it. I need to correct a comment during my last unboxing of this drone where I said it had a 4-axis gimbal, but that is the Lite and not the Lite Plus. Many thought this, and it's quite clear on Autel's site in the drone descriptions. The 4-axis gimbal provides an internal mechanism that switches to the framing orientation for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. At first, I was frustrated that it wasn't also a feature in the Lite Plus, but if you look back at the Evo 2 and the 2 Pro, you had a choice to make, and many videographers went with the sensor size over a compressed 8K image that still looks awesome. Well, you also have a choice to make with this, and I'm still glad that I got the same result of the best image quality, that I'll just have to make a few extra steps to manipulate the image for the aforementioned social media platforms. So pretty much I'm good now. Really, I am. The white has not been an issue at all in all brightness levels. Even though at the time of this video, we still don't have the follow features or flat profiles. The image needs very little adjustment, if any at all. I've taken the liberty of capturing a few clips that demonstrates the excellent image quality straight out of camera. Recently, thousands of acres have been destroyed in the northern panhandle of Florida. So I captured some smoky scenes, even though we're only about 45 miles away from danger. In these clips, I wanted to show you a little bit of the smoke and the color change that this smoke created from so far away. So check it out. I was also able to capture a little bit of daytime footage and a little bit of sunrise, sunset, and also some nighttime footage that's not very long, and I'm still learning the ropes on this. But again, keep in mind, we don't have any color profiles other than what's straight out of camera. So check some of these clips out. And don't do what I did and shoot your drone footage at 30 frames per second and stick it on a 24 frames per second timeline. So Autel has introduced a new app called Autel Sky, and it is used to control the light and the nano version. And I'm going to do an overlay of that over the raw footage, and we're just going to talk about the nomenclature, the proclivities of all of these details while we're out flying around. So let's go take a quick flight. Now I want to go ahead and talk about some of the menu items here. And on the bottom left hand corner you have your map, you have your compass, and you also have your gimbal location. So if that green camera is angled down, then that's where the camera on your drone is angled. And that's just used as a reference so you know exactly where your camera is pointing. And also on the left, the circle H is also going to be your takeoff button. Up in the upper left-hand corner, you have your smooth, standard, and ludicrous modes, and they're easy to toggle through, and you can also program your functions key to toggle through those as well. Right now, we are safe to fly, so that means that all of the GPS features and the signal strength and everything are good to go. Your battery strengths are good to go. So that means that you have great signal strength, you got great GPS signal, and you also have 81% of battery health on your remote control. Now on your drone, that's where the airplane is with the little battery next to it, and you have 99%, which also means you have 31 left in order to fly your drone. I've already taken off 2 minutes of it myself earlier because I was out here demonstrating a few things. Now, this is turning off the obstacle avoidance, so that green reticle on the right-hand corner of the screen you can turn off by touching and turn back on. It's nice and easy to toggle through to turn off that annoying beep and sound when you're trying to take off when you're in smooth and standard mode. When you're in ludicrous mode, there is no obstacle avoidance, therefore you don't have to worry about that, but it can get quite annoying, and especially if you know exactly where you are and what you're doing, you can just turn that obstacle avoidance off. Now on the right you have your portrait, you have your photo, you have video, you have your hyperlapse, you have your quick shots, and you have your panoramics, and you have your night modes, and you have your pro mode. And the pro mode just means that you have full control of your camera. This is your 1 through 4 times zoom. I don't suggest going past 2 because 4 looked okay, but 2 times looks really good. Change the video resolution here to 6K, and we're going to go to 24 frames per second because we've already made that mistake today. And then you can adjust your lighting based off of where you target on the screen, so you can get your exposure settings just right. And it's just so easy to use. You've got your album, you've got your video and photo album off to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and then how much time you have left to record on your SD card, which is quite a bit of time. Because right now all I'm using is a 64 gig chip that came with it. So let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air and do our first test flight here. And then up when you go, see that annoying sound of beeping because there's things in proximity? You can turn those off by hitting that obstacle avoidance. And let's go ahead and take off in standard mode. And it's such a quiet drone. Goodness gracious. Now I'm trying to beat the rain out here today too. All in all, it's so responsive. It is such a fast drone. It reminds me of the Air 2S. I mean, in the Air 2 series, look at that. I backed up and that thing backs up again. I don't need it to back up twice. Please don't do that. But this is a quick first impressions, like I said, so I just wanted to, you know, check functions, make sure this thing flies as advertised, and man, that looks so good. All right. Just kind of staying around the house here, and that ludicrous mode is my favorite. Now we'll go back into smooth mode, and that's as fast as it goes, but now you're getting to see how smooth that footage is. The gimbal is much smoother first time out of the gate than most drones that I've ever seen or used, and I've had a lot of them, and it just looks so good. That is your smooth mode, and then your standard mode. It's actually good that the sky is cloudy today and I can see this thing so well. Oh, I got a sideboard shot of the drone. I can still see it. And I'm gonna see how high we can go before you can't see it anymore, besides not going over 400 feet. Because right now we are at almost 200 feet and 250, almost 300. I think you get the point. Yeah, so don't be afraid to buy the white one. You're not seeing the color. You're seeing either the size or the outline of something that, you know, everybody's so concerned about. You need to get an orange one so you can see it better. That's not necessarily true. Because at that height, if that were orange, you still wouldn't have been able to tell it was orange. I do like the forward lights on it though. Those are sexy. I'm gonna bring it in so you can see that. They're like a blue, a purple bluish hue to them. It looks so good. Let's bring it in here. Love that. And look how steady it is. It's hovering. Of course, there's not any wind out here right now. But dadgum. Love this drone. I'm glad the obstacle avoidance is turned off right now, or this thing would be going berserk. But let's test that. I'm going to turn the obstacle avoidance back on. And of course, there's no side sensors, therefore it doesn't know that I'm standing off to the side. So let's bring it right directly at me, and yep, now it's going to freak out. Now get me out of the frame, and it stopped. And then the back of the craft. Yep, there it is. That's awesome. The zoom features are amazing too. I like to do the 2x zoom in some of that footage that you saw. Gives it a little bit more of that parallax look. And you don't want to go any higher than 4x, although I probably won't ever go past 2, because that's just enough to be able to get what I need to create a parallax, because it looks so cool when you're zoomed in one time and you can see the horizon. Speaking of horizons, I did not do a gimbal calibration, and so my horizon is going to be off right now, but that's not hard to fix. So that's not bad for being that I've not done it yet, but I'll get to it. I just wanted to do a quick first impressions flight, but I'm clicking on the ground here. Now it went out of focus because it's trying to focus on where I pointed on the screen, and get the exposure correct. But that looks outstanding. So I'm very excited about this drone. It is a beautiful drone. We're going to go up a little bit more, and then I'm going to pan the camera down, and with that 2x zoom, that just looks awesome. Wish I had something better for you to see than my neighborhood, but what are you going to do? I'm feeling a few little sprinkles, but I don't want to push the pocket. I mean, this is one of my prized possessions here, so that off. Stop recording. And we have landed. So I hope you enjoyed this first impressions. What do I think of it? I absolutely love the drone. I actually fly this one more than any of them. And I have the Evo 2 Pro here. And I've got the Air 2S, and it's not like I'm not going to use them, because I use them for different reasons, but this one as a recreational thing right now and flying around the house, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I highly recommend that you try this out yourself, and if you are interested in buying it, please use my affiliate link down below. I get a little bit of kickback at no extra cost to you, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell, and also keep an eye out for next week's video, where I'm going to be showing you the mount from Skyfire Aerial, and I really enjoy that mount, and dealing with them and their customer service is just absolutely amazing. So keep an eye out, and I will see you all next week. Bye.